Howdy ho, YouTubers. I'm back. Welcome to episode number 21. So, a little bit of time off from the old blogging thing for me for a while, so thought this would be the perfect opportunity to do another blog. Okay, I'm at a completely different venue to where I've been before. I've never been here before. I am up in Somerset, up at a place called the Fishery. It's located in between sort of like Glastonbury Street sort of area. It's about 5 acres in size, this lake, and it's a bit of a weird layout because you fish from like sort of spit islands which are located behind me, and you fish from the inside of the lake outwards, which was something a little bit different, I thought. So yeah, I don't really know a lot about the place other than only what I've sort of like seen online and sort of like social media and Facebook and things like that. So the good thing about this session for me is I'm now on my annual holiday, so I'm off for the next 2 weeks. I have 6 days booked here, so I've got 6 nights of fishing ahead of me, which I'm looking forward to. So yeah, this is going to be me for the next 6 days. So another point to add to this place as well is when you book, because you have to book it because they book out all the pegs and the swims. So when you ring up, you have to book into a peg, and that is your peg for the duration of your session here. So I've booked out peg 10 just as a random because I didn't know where else to go really. But that's my peg for the week, and that is where I will be staying for the week. So yeah, looking forward to it. It hasn't been fishing its ass off, but it's not really sort of like a run sort of water. So anyway, I'm here for 6 days. Hopefully in that time I can pick up a few fish. But right, gonna get cracking now and get set up. One thing behind me, you'll notice there's a bin down there. That is a antiseptic tank. So when you arrive at the fishery, before you go anywhere, you have to dip all your nets, your slings, your cradles and things like that. So I'm going to do that before I go over the bridge behind me, and then I'm going to walk over to the swim, and I shall see you over there.
Alright my babbers, right, so this is the swim that I'm in, pig number 10, and this is the water that I have. You can see over there there's a white marker. It's kind of like an overflow, I think. There is 2 guys in the peg next to me. I know that one of them's fishing over that that marker, so try and stay away from that, I think, for a minute. They're here for the week like I am, so don't want to start pissing people off already. That would piss me off if I turned up and someone started fishing on top of me, so keep away from that spot for a minute, I think. But as for the rest of it, pretty much got all of this water in front of me. I can fish into the corner over there if I want to. There's no one in that peg at the moment, but it's pretty much from like there onwards over to where the white post is. So pretty one-dimensional. It's basically probably going to be a really easy session in the ways of fishing it. I've heard that going close to the reeds is quite a good method here, so I think I'm going to put 2 rods towards the reeds, and I think I'll have 1 out in the open water to start with. A couple of nice little margin spots down here as well, which are quite like reedy sort of lined, so maybe flick one down in the night down one of those. But at the moment I'm just kind of in the process of just setting the house up. Thought I'd take the opportunity to get myself completely set up before I even think about getting a rod out, and just try and assess the situation a little bit more and take it from there. There's seen quite a lot of bubbling and fizzing going on, so I'm going to put the kettle on. I'm going to sit down and have a cup of tea for a minute before I do anything, and yeah, just take stock and just hatch a plan, I guess.
Right, and guys, had a bit of a sit down, had a cup of tea.
decided that I'm going to be fishing against the reeds. There's two spots I've got in mind that I'm using as markers more than anything else really. I don't think it's going to matter too much where you fish along that reed margin, but there's two trees there that I can use as markers for during the sort of like evening and the night time. Right, I'll show you the methods that I'm going to be using for the session. Pretty straightforward. So my first tactic, and maybe my only tactic depending on how it goes, is the old solid bag. Just got a 12mm pop-up, krill pop-up in the whites to start with, so they're going to be the way ahead. Also I have a mix here of pellet and boilie. This is the Coppins 14mm pellet, and I've also got the DNA switch boilie in 12mm. So I've got a kilo of each in that bucket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk. You can walk around the lake, and I'm just going to bait up the reed spots with just by hand really. I'm not going to go too mad to start with because I don't know how it fishes. I don't want to kill it, so I think I'm just going to start off with a couple of handfuls of bait and then see where it goes from there really. I can use a catapult from here, but it'd be a lot more accurate to just sort of like walk around the margin and just put it in really. Seeing as on my annual holiday, you can't really go on holiday without one of these. Very controversial. So yeah, I thought I'd bring my bait boat with me because number one, I'm on holiday, and number two, I can probably get a lot closer to the reeds without any problems using this little bad boy. So this is my new one. This is a Lake Reaper, and all I'm going to be doing with it is basically dropping solid bags with it. I'm not going to be baiting up with it or anything like that, other than my open water spot, I don't think. So that's going to get used. So yeah, I don't really get to use it a lot. So for those of you who don't know, I had a bait boat before, but I've upgraded to one of those, and that little thing is perfect for what I need as well. My other one started having a little bit of an issue. It burnt out a board, and I haven't got round to repairing it yet. So yeah, so I've got that one with me. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. I've seen a lot of activity out there though. There's a lot of fizzing and bubbling and things like that. So I'm going to trudge around these margin spots now, bring you with me, probably bait up, and eventually get a rod out.
Right, well here we are guys, there's the bivvy over there, and this is my first marker just underneath this tree down here. I've got the bait bucket with me, so let's here goes nothing. Look at that, lovely. Oh yes. Right, you get the gist of it. Going to be doing that there, and then the other one, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. Okay, so that's Huey, Dewey and Louie all on the spots, ready to go. 6 days at the festival fishery in Glastonbury. So let's see how this goes. As I said, I've never been here before, but I've heard there's some nice fish in here. So yeah, right. Guess there's nothing else to do now but sit back, wait, watch the water, chill out, and hopefully have a good 6 days.
Right, good little start this is. So rods have been out for about 2 hours, something like that. The left-hand rod went off, albeit this isn't a carp, but it is a nice little tench. That's a PB tench for me, and it was only the other day I was thinking to myself, I haven't caught a tench in years. Well, now I have. It's alright, good little start. I'll take that. Nice. Right, gonna get this fish back. See if we can get a carp next. Right, I'm off the mark. Hooray. Doesn't count as a blank anymore now, I suppose. Even though it wasn't a carp, but quite a nice tench. I think that's probably my PB tench. Didn't weigh it either, but it's probably about 3.5, 4 pound. So yeah, pretty good. Right, I'll just show you the rig that I caught it on and the rigs that I'm using for this one while I've got one out. So starting off at the top, got a Avid lead stem with the old drop-off system. 2 ounce lead, just slides over the top and then they just pull off nice and safe. And coming down from that, I've got a probably about 4 inches of supple braid, little shot underneath that, a size 6 wide gape hook and a 12mm pop-up. That one was on a white. I've got 3 different colours out there now. I've got a white underneath the tree on the left. The middle rod is on a food bait, which is kind of like a browny sort of krilly colour. And the right hand rod is on a pink. So yeah, but they haven't done anything yet. So, but it's only 12 o'clock. Only been here a couple of hours. Only had the rods out a couple of hours, so yeah, at least it shows that the rigs work and there's fish in the area, so happy enough. It wasn't a bream, which was nice, because usually it's a bloody bream if it's not a carp for me on the reservoirs, so it was nice to see a tench. Anyway, I'm talking crap, but yeah. Hello again, back again. So it's about 8:30. Still nothing's happened. But I just thought I'd update you all as well. The weather is going to be really shit for the next 24 hours. And when I say shit, I mean really shit. So you'll have to excuse me that some of my filming may be done inside the bivvy in the next day, because from what I can see of the weather forecast, it ain't looking very good at all. However, it's really low pressure and there's a southwesterly coming, so the fishing could get good. Hopefully. You never know. So anyway, I'm going to kill this for the evening unless I get a bite, and then you'll see it. Otherwise you'll see me in the morning with a cup of tea in my hand, like you always do. Ta-ta! Right, and guys, just gone about 10 o'clock, and yeah, guess what? Another tench. This place seems to be crawling with tench. So I'm going to get this thing back. Probably only about £2, but it's another fish, just not what I'm after. Good morning, my YouTubing little pals. So, last night turned out to be quite eventful. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage of it, which I'll get onto now. So, after my little flurry of tench yesterday, at about 12:30 last night, had a complete one toner off of the right hand rod that was located down in the margin. I thought, oh, that's not a tench. So got out of bed. It was absolutely lashing it down. It was so wet and windy, it was ridiculous. Today's okay, but it was supposed to be like this today as well, but apparently not. So yeah, anyway, big ass common, well into the 20s. Ideal, got it out, and then what I did was, because it was absolutely lashing it down, so like I didn't have anything ready, didn't have any of the camera gear ready or anything like that. So I thought, right, what I'll do is I'll keep it in the net. I unhooked it and just kept it in the net just while I set up. The sling was in the cradle, all ready to be weighed and all the rest of it. And then disaster strikes, because I put it in the net in a rush, and then I come back to the net and it was gone. One of those, I'm afraid. So yeah, I'm really annoyed, because I got the feeling that it was a PB common for me, that one. It was, my PB common's about £24, and I think it was over that. So yeah, pretty annoyed, but at least I've had one. I just can't show you it. So yeah, kind of like not the idea of a blog, is it really? But it's happened, can't do nothing about it. So I decided to go to the showers this morning and drown myself, and then come back and regroup and do it all over again. So what I've done is I've carried on with the same spots as what I had previously, which is the far tree towards the other side of the bank against the rushes. That's the tench spot at the moment, but I'm hoping a carp will come through there. I've located another rod back out into the open water again, and I'm just gonna carry on with that spot as well for the rest of the session, because I didn't pick anything up off of the other reed spot that I had yesterday. So I'm just trying to spread my options out a little bit, and I'm obviously going to keep the one down in this margin now. So all baited up, all ready to go, all fresh bags. I'm clean and tidy again. I was like a drowned rat by the time I got into bed last night as well, which didn't help matters. So yeah, feel a little bit better now. Got some rest, and yeah, we'll see how we go from there. But right now, I have a cup of tea in my hand, and the wife gave me biscuits, morning coffee biscuits, so we'll have those as well. Lovely. The WWB box will be in session, but a little bit later on in the video, I think. It's only Wednesday, a little bit early. Really though? Jesus, who knew? Pink pop-up, eel. Oh my god, now I've got to deal with this thing. I hate these things. I've never caught an eel on a pop-up, but I have now. I will get a carp in this blog eventually. Howdy ho, YouTubers. So, it's been 24 hours now, and the spot underneath the tree hasn't really produced anything. So, what I've done is I've removed it, and like this margin spot that produced something last night, my left hand rod is now fishing down along this margin down here. Again, probably about 2 or 3 rod lengths down the margin with a kilo of pellet on it. I just think that those spots are not so obvious as to maybe over there, because obviously casting over there or bait boating over there like I am, they're going to be seeing the bait there all the time, and I can imagine your line lay's not great, because even though I'm using a back lead, you know, you've still got the run up to the shelf, so I'm not convinced that the line lay is going to be the greatest. So what I've done is to combat that is just literally put a back lead on down here,
and run it along that shelf. So that's what we're doing. That's on a white pop-up, which is what I had the big comment on last night. So, and I've still got the middle rod. It's just out in the open water still. So I'll give that another 24 hours, and then if that doesn't produce anything, I'll think about doing something with that rod. Maybe that spot over by the tree just needs a bit of a rest up for a minute. I'm not too sure, but I'll keep at it, keep adjusting. But at the moment, pretty quiet. One eel today, and nothing else has come out either. The bailiff is fishing on peg 1. I think he's had 3 fish out, but the guys next to me haven't had anything else apart from a couple of tench. So keep persevering, I guess, and yeah, see what we can do. The weather's not been great. It's been raining pretty much most of the day, as they said it would. I didn't think it was going to, because when I got up this morning it was dry, but it has been raining. Got a break in the rain, but there is more forecast to come, so that might not be a bad thing. That could play in my favour, and it could switch it on, but who knows. Anyway, I'm going now. Catch you later. Good evening, YouTubers. It's now 6:30 of day number 2. 6:30 in the evening, that is. And it's been raining for about 3 hours solid now. It is set to dry out though, sort of like in the middle of the night, and I think that's it for the rain then, hopefully anyway. But it's been pretty quiet other than the eel. Nothing else has happened today. I don't think anything's been out of the lake at all. I know the guys to my left haven't had anything. So yeah, been pretty quiet. So I'll give you a quick recap. Left hand rod down in this margin down here. Right hand rod down in that margin down there. That's the one I had to run on last night. And my other rod is in the open water out in front of me, smack bang in the middle. So I'm just going to leave everything as it is. And like I said, if that open water spot doesn't produce anything overnight, then I'll move it back onto the back up against the reeds, I think. But yeah, that's where everything is. That's where I'm going to leave everything for now, because I'm on solid PVA bags, and obviously in the rain it's a bit of a no-no. So that, and I've got no real reason to reel them in because nothing's happened. So I'm just going to sit on it, hopefully get a run tonight. Night number 2, a little bit more success. Got one on the bank, same rod as yesterday, the right hand side margin. I kind of stayed awake until this sort of time because I had the feeling that this rod would go off again, and it has. And this time around, we produced this one. 21 pound, 6 ounces. Nice little mirror. Give up hell of a good scrap. I could took me about 20 minutes to get it in, but it's a carp, and it's the first one of the vlog on camera anyway. Yes, I am very happy. Right, I'm going to get this fish back. I'm going to get a bit more bait in that margin, and we'll see if we can get another one. Well, that plan's working out all right. Happy days. 2 nights, 2 runs, same rod. Keep on with that. Right, get this fish back. Ta-ta. Good morning, YouTubers. So it's 6:30 in the morning. Just had this one. Nice little scaly one. That was on the middle rod, out in the open water, that one. 16 pound. Nice little scaly one. Lovely.
think it's just about ready to spawn by the looks of it. Right, I'm going to get that fish back. The swim's picking up a little bit more now. I'm not too sure what the time is, but I did set my alarm for 9 o'clock because I thought I'd have a bit of a sleep. But it hasn't gone off yet, so must be getting on for that way though now. Just had this little one, £12.2, down on the right hand rod again, down in the margin. So that's the first time it's happened in this sort of daylight. So it must be, they must be getting in on that spot now. I have put quite a bit of pellet down there though. It's probably about 3 kilo of pellet down there in total over the last sort of 2 days. So yeah, but it's working. They're getting in there, which is great. Right, I'm going to get this one back and then I'm going to go and have a bit of a shower, I think, and then start another day. Great. Well, I said I was going for a shower, but the fish seem to have different ideas. So I was just reeling in my other rod, and my middle rod went off the one out in the open water again. And I've got this one a bit bigger. £22, 3 ounces. Nice way to start a Thursday morning. I'll show you the other side. Lovely looking fish, this one. Really orangey sort of underneath. There we go. £22, 3. Right, now I am off for a shower. Get sorted out, rest the swim for an hour, and get fishing again. Hopefully more to come. But the tactics are definitely paying off now. So I'm glad to have stuck to my guns on it, if you like. Right, getting this one back, off for a shower. Howdy ho. Just been adding a little bit more bait out into the area out in the middle there. Just had another take on my middle rod, but unfortunately it's sort of come off. Felt the resistance of the fish. Bobbin was all the way tight, but yeah, it didn't result in anything. So a little bit more bait out there. The weather's a little bit nicer today. No rain. I think that's it for the rain now, so that's quite a good thing. Has been fishing quite well in the rain, sort of like in the last 24 hours with the weather being up and down, so that seemed to turn it on a little bit, but it's not really that comfortable to sort of, you know, sit in and things like that. So I'm quite glad that's over for a minute. Managed to get a few things dried out, so there's a positive to all of that. But the two left hand and the right hand side rods have been quite quiet since early this morning, really. They tend to be more sort of like towards the night, but you know, I did have that one this morning at about 7-8 o'clock or whatever it was, so I'm just going to keep persevering with those. But the two guys up in the swim to my left have had one, so I don't think it's going too well. One of them was talking about going home, so that doesn't sound good, but I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. They did come and ask me what I was doing, so I just told them, because I'm not massive on keeping secrets or anything. If I can help someone, I will. So I just kind of like showed them the baits I was using, the pellet and whatnot. I think one of the guys, they sell the pellet on site, so I think one of the guys was going to go and buy some of the pellet. But I brought the pellet with me because it's a little bit cheaper and I can buy it in bulk, so I've done that. But yeah, hopefully that'll help them out a little bit, point them out a couple of areas that I thought the fish might be in their swim as well. So I know one of them had the fish last night in the open water, and the other guy was fishing, you know, right in against the reeds to the far bank. So I pointed out a couple of spots for them, so hopefully that helps them out. I also said that if it doesn't work, don't blame me. So yeah, so that's my guarantor. But I'm just going to carry on doing what I'm doing and just see what happens. But hopefully we'll get some more. Right, catch you later.
So while I'm at it this afternoon, just making up a bit more bait, I just thought I'd show you the baits in a little bit more detail that I'm using for the session. So as I showed you previously, I've just got a mix of pellet and boilie, and they're the Coppins 14mm premium select carp pellets. Take about 6-7 hours to break down, and then they just turn into absolute mush on the bottom, and that's kind of like what leaves the kind of like attraction in the swim all the time, if you like. So they're like a fish mealy sort of pellet, almost like a halibut pellet, but they've got like blood content in them and things like that. There's all sorts in them, but they're really good, really effective. I've now used all of my 12mm boilie. So this boilie's quite a new boilie to me actually. It's the DNA switch. Obviously I've used the 12mm that I had, and now I'm just using the 15s, but all I'm doing is cutting them up with a quarter cutter before I put them in, just to make something a bit different, because I'm guessing again, because this is a commercial, they'll be pretty used to seeing a 15mm boilie by, you know, the average guy. So all I'm trying to do is just make a little bit of a difference there. Also, at the end of that, while I've done all of that, I'm using pure salmon oil just over the top of them. Just adds a little bit more attraction to it all, and this stuff's really good. So yeah, that's all I'm doing. I tend to use this more in the warmer months, but now the temperature's into sort of like double figures with the water temperature. I think at the moment it's about 12 degrees, so just about there on the limit of where you can use it, but it seems to be working well. So I just give that a sort of like small glug. It just sort of glistens the baits off, leave it for a few hours, and then get it in the water. But I won't be getting any more in until sort of like the evening time now anyway. If I do put any more in, it's only going to be sort of like a couple of handfuls at a time now, because I've baited up the areas that I need to bait up to try and get the fish in, which has sort of worked in my eyes a little bit. So used a fair bit of bait, but I've had to try and locate the fish, and you know, I've been baiting up different spots, but these are the ones that I'm sticking with now. So yeah, there you go. That is the whole baiting strategy. Right, good evening everyone. So we're at about 8 o'clock now. Just like the rest of the days, nothing's happened during the day whatsoever. Yeah, anywhere, I don't think. I don't think the guys up the top of the fish just bosh there. Don't think the guys up in the peg next to me have had anything during the day. So sort of like from this time onwards, it seems to be the time of the fish either moving into the area or feeding. I mean, I've seen fish here all day, so I think it's just kind of like the feeding time. It seems to be a bit of a night water at the moment. Don't know whether it fishes like that regularly or not. It's my first time here, but that's what I'm finding at the moment, especially in this peg, that anywhere from about 8 o'clock till 8 o'clock is kind of like bite time really. But I'll be doing the same as what I did yesterday, and staying up probably to about 11:30, 12 o'clock just for that end rod, because both nights now
bite time has sort of been within an hour of with each other. So yeah, really. Anyway, so yeah, so that's where we are. The weather's now going to be dry until I go home on Monday morning. I'm off of here on Monday morning. Got to be off of here Monday morning at 8 o'clock, and it's Thursday evening now. So still got a little bit of time. But yeah, my longest session ever, this one as well. So yeah, it's been good fun so far. I didn't really think that I've got to handle it for this long on my own, but I actually have, and I've actually enjoyed it. Just me on my Todd, you know. But yeah, it's been good. So anyway, hopefully we'll have some more fish during the night. I've just recast them bad boys behind me. Just put a couple of 3 fresh bags on all of them. They're all on a white pop-up. So hopefully that'll do the business at some stage tonight. And I shall see you during the evening, hopefully with a big fish. Good morning, YouTubing. Well, surprisingly, nothing happened last night. So, yeah, all went a little bit dead. The weather kind of dropped right off, the wind, everything. It just was completely flat calm out there last night. So I don't know if that made any kind of difference to it or whatever, but I had a few liners that I thought were runs, but it never materialised into anything. So yeah, fishless night, that one. That's the first fishless night anyway. So, however, just seen one of the guys from next door, and it looks like the advice that I gave them paid off a little bit, because one of them had a 26.5 this morning, and the other one who's with him lost one, but they reckon it was bigger. So my advice worked, hooray! For once. So yeah, but I'm just in the process of just waking up, cup of tea, and then this morning I've got to bring my rods in, because I'm gonna go and have a shower, get sorted out, and then I've got to go into the town, which is like 2 minutes down the road, just to get some food for the weekend, because I only sort of like brung 3 days with me, because otherwise things start, you know, turning and stuff like that. So gonna go and do that this morning, come back, put a bit of bait in, and then get the rods back out like that. So, but the weather now is quite sunny as well. It's not really carpy. So yeah, you can't use zigs in here. That's worth mentioning as well. So with the rules for this place, any kind of imitation bait is banned. So you can't use fake corn. You can't use zig foam, so you can't use zigs essentially. You could use a zig like as a boilie if you like, I guess. What else have they got here? Oh, there's no leg core, no leaders whatsoever. It's tubing only or naked line. None of it really makes any difference whatsoever, to be honest. So whenever I fish a solid bag, I never fish it, you know, with a leader anyway, because I use the lead stem, so it's not a problem to me. But it's worth mentioning if you do use all those things. So right, anyway, I'm going to finish my cup of tea, wake up, go for a shower, go and get some food, come back, get wood out. Everything's redone again. Just been into the town to go and get some more food for the weekend, so don't need to do anything like that again. Everything's done, ready to go. It was only about an hour anyway, so didn't lose a lot of time. Everything is exactly the same pretty much, bar one rod, which is the one that was located down in the margin down here. Decided to take that one out, hasn't done anything for 2 days. So what I've done is I've left the one down here in the margin that I've had 2 off of, That was a hell of a liner. Right, so anyway, as you can see, getting a lot of liners, so that can't be a bad thing. Trouble is, don't know what they are. So yeah, the one down here has been taken out, and what I've done is I've located it back over to the tree behind me. Can't really see it from here, but yeah, where I was at the start of the session, just to see if I can pick one up from over there again. And I've got one in the open water and then one down in the margin here, so just going to carry on. But yeah, it is what it is. Here comes a massive helicopter. Right, I'm off. Catch you later. Right then, no sooner that I had said that I was off, turned the camera off, just got back in the bivvy, and that right hand rod screamed off. The one that I took out of there and put over by the tree again. Put a bit of bait down there earlier, and it's produced this one, biggest one of the session so far. 24 pounds 6 ounces, and my first daytime fish, which brings my total up to 6. I'm very happy. Look at that. Lovely looking fish. Show you the other side. Literally just got back in the bivvy, and then it just completely one-toned off down the margin. Brilliant. PVA bag, solid PVA bag, and just with a little white 12mm pop-up, grill pop-up in it. White seems to be doing the business. That's a nice one after 24 hours and no fish. Right, I'm going to get this fish back, and I'm going to get that rod back. Right, a few hours have passed now since my last fish. I think it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, I'm not too sure. But I've just had another one. This one came from the reed spot again. So lift this one up. I've got to be careful of it. Here we go, guys. 27 pound 2 ounces. So this is the bigger of the lot that I've had so far. Oh, he's heavy. 27 pound 2. Lovely fish. Been seeing them bosh along that reed line all day. I just sort of bided me time and just sat on it, and eventually it's gone. Not really that tight to the reeds. I'm probably about half a rod length off, and there's a shelf that just drops down. The shelf is really rapid, and I'm fishing just at the bottom of that shelf. So about half a rod length off, just to keep the line laid down. Right, I'm gonna get this fish back and see if I can get another one. Right then, moving on into the evening time now. We're at about 6:30 on the Friday, so I've got a couple of days left. As expected with this fishery on a weekend, it's absolutely rammed. So I'm pretty glad that I managed to get in, you know, 2 or 3 days beforehand when it was nice and quiet. Most of you know I'm not anti people, but I just don't like too many lines in the water, and this place is what it is on a weekend, I guess. So yeah, not really the one for me on a typical weekend, but you know, the place is full up apparently, so deal with it, I guess. So yeah, but I'm happy to have the amount of fish that I've had already, and if it switches off, I'm more than happy to have the results that I've had. So I've made a couple of changes. The only real change that I have made is I've now got a guy in the peg next to me in 11, and I'm running down that margin. There's not really a lot of space between me and him, to be honest. Number one, I don't want to run in the middle of the night and it tears off down into his swim. And number two, I don't know how loud he's going to be, and it could be a complete waste of time having a rod there in the first place. So all I've done is I've been getting runs out in the open water, so I've just located it behind me, sort of like that direction, just in the open water just for the last couple of days, because I just don't see too much point in creating hassle. So that's what I've done. So yeah, it's very, very good. But since this afternoon and since that fish, nothing's really happened. But yeah, apparently someone had said to me that I've done quite well to get 7 fish out of it. So yeah, good. I'm glad. So right, I'm going to cut this off, and if I don't have anything tonight, I will see you in the morning, unless I have some more news, which I probably won't.
Good morning. So last night unfortunately was a fishless night. Not a lot happened. I did hear a lot of boshing, but yeah, didn't get a run in the end. However, about 20 minutes ago I had a run off of the right hand rod out in the open water again, but I was playing it and unfortunately it ditched the hook. So I just took the rig out and had a look, and the hook point was sharp, so I'm not too sure why. It did swim towards me, so I've got the feeling it managed to just shake it out. But yeah, put that one back out now. But that's what's happened. So I mean, they are still there. It's just a case of getting another run now, which could take 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 hours. There's not really been any sort of like pattern to like the runs or anything like that, other than like the bite times have come like anywhere up until about 9 o'clock, but we're just coming out of that now. As you can see, it's quite a sunny day today, so by the book, not really that carpy. Has been a little bit of low pressure the last few days, but that's dissipating today, and it's going back up to sort of 1,017, I think it was. So yeah, but you never know. Yesterday I said that, and look what happened. I had 2 fish. So the rule book is not always right, so we're going to carry on and see what happens.
Right, and guys, seeing as it's quite quiet at the moment, and losing a fish this morning, I need something to cheer me up. So what could cheer me up more than the weekend wife box? That's right, it's back. Who cares about all the fish that I've caught? What's in this thing is important. So we're into Saturday now. I thought I'd wait until the weekend because it is the weekend wife box. And let's have a look what she's put inside. Oh, the suspense. Okay, quite the selection. Number 1, savoury selection, scampi fries and bacon fries. Hooray! Thanks, wife. Oh, number 2, well, I say number 2, we've got a selection of frazzles and chipsticks and snaps. I don't eat all of this in one go, by the way, just for anyone that was wondering. You know, I take it with me on other sessions as well. No way could I eat it all. So he says. Right. Velveeta soft bakes, breakfast soft bakes. Could have done with those in the week, really. Thanks, wife. Another bag of frazzles that I missed. Ah, yes. This is a good one. Mini eggs. Everyone loves mini eggs. She's blatantly got those because they were like 50p or something. Oh, well. Oh, a book. How not to be a dick. Not too sure a book's gonna work. An everyday adequate art guide on how not to be a dick. Alright. Sweet Heat Skittles. Oh, fuck me! A box of Barrett sweets. Gosh, she's really gone all out on this one. I should have opened this in the week now. Oh, and what's this? Something in a box. The last thing in the weekend wife box. It's a cup. Ah, cool. She got me a Starbucks mug that says Mr. Bub's Coffee. And that's because she calls me Mr. Bub, for everyone that didn't know. That's it, I'm afraid. We're all done. That was the weekend wife box. Woo! Good afternoon / evening / whatever you'd like to call it. Not too much in the way of filming today, basically because there's been nothing to film. Been quite a dead day, other than the aborted take that I had this morning. Not a lot has really happened. It's been quite a windy day. But it's also been a really sunny day as well, so been quite hot. I've had to have the vents open on the bivvy, so yeah, temperature got right up today. High pressure, not really that carpy, so I'm hoping that they get their heads down during the night. Haven't really seen a lot in the way of activity of fish either today. Usually you get a lot of boshing and stuff like that, but hasn't really happened. So I'm guessing that like from now onwards, because we're into the evening time now, so should start to pick up a little bit. Hopefully they get their heads down. But as I said yesterday, there's a lot of lines in the water, and I really do think that that makes a difference to places like this. So you can't do nothing about it. You know, that is the day ticket thing, I guess. So hey ho, never mind. Carry on, and hopefully tonight we get a fish. Hopefully. Oh, good morning. So yeah, another quiet night last night. I had a tench at about 6:30 this morning. Didn't bother filming it, just put it straight back because there really wasn't a lot of point in filming it. Everyone knows what a tench looks like. So yeah, a few people have gone home now, so whether or not that's going to make a difference, I don't know. I guess it all depends on how much bait's gone out there and all the rest of it, but it's high pressure again. As you can see behind me, it's a sunny day, so not really that carpy, but what I'm going to try and do today is just fire a couple out towards the reed line, because I've got the feeling they're going to be up in the water a little bit, so going to see if that'll make a difference. Just try a few different things. The last night, so we'll take it from there and see what happens. The end of the session now, we're on the last night. It's been quite a quiet day really. The only bit of action I have had was literally 5 minutes ago. I had a run on my my left down rod that unfortunately had a hook pull. It's not the first one that I've had in the session either. I've had a few of them now, but the fish seems to be quite riggy in here. So what tends to happen is you get the run and then you lift into it, and then as soon as you lift into it, they charge straight towards you, and you know, they're just able to just get rid of the hook because they're barbless as well. So that's what seems to be happening. This has happened twice now on 2 different rods, and I've had exactly the same thing where they've just swam straight towards me and just jarred the hook out. So yeah, quite riggy fish, but yeah, other than that, not a lot has really happened. That's the only run that I've had all day, apart from a couple of tench that I didn't bother to film. I've had 2 tench today, but I didn't bother filming them. There's no point. So yeah, just going to sit on this now and wait to go home, I guess. You know, got to be off of here by 8 o'clock. Why am I looking at my watch? I don't even wear a watch. Got to be out of here. Got to be out of here by 8 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get another one before we go home. Hi guys, just had another run. It's about 12 o'clock at night, so yeah, pretty happy. I'll just hold him up for the camera and then get him back. Almost fully scaled this one. 24 pound on the button, pretty much. You can see that all right. So nice way to close off before I go home. I was after one more, and if this is the only one I'm gonna get, I'm happy enough. Lovely. Right, I'm gonna get this fish back, and hey guys, back at the van, ready to go home now. Just the one fish last night, so yeah, it's happy to get one before I go home anyway. So got to be off of here now because I got a whole late booking or something like that. So time to go home, but really enjoyed it. Good little trip. Definitely recommend it. There's some big fish in here, and yeah, I definitely come back to this one. So anyway, time for me to get my ass home. Got a bit of a drive ahead of me, so I'm gonna go and get that done and then get home. Tight lines guys, and I'll catch you for the next one.